Hello, my dear friends. The last time I talked to you, I told you we would be talking about deep cleaning the laundry room. And it is part of Zone 3, the other room, or one of the other rooms. And this week, as I'm recording that, this is the other rooms week. So this is a great way to do it, great time to do it. So what are some things we would do when we deep clean the laundry room? First of all, a priority is that it is decluttered. You can't deep clean clutter. So if there's clutter, then you focus on decluttering the laundry room, throwing away the trash and the things that you won't use that no one else needs, giving away the things that you don't want that somebody else would really use. That doesn't mean you have to find the owner of the thing. You just can give it to an organization and they can distribute it. And finally, putting away the things that don't belong in this room. And as part of putting away, organizing like things together in the room. Okay, so once that's done, now we can deep clean. Now, laundry rooms come in all shapes and sizes. I've had a full-blown laundry room with window and a deep freeze in it, and a washer and dryer and space to hang things. I've had another laundry room with a smaller window, no deep freeze in it, but plenty of room to operate. I've had another laundry room with just a closet, I've had a couple of those, just closet doors with a washer and dryer, maybe a shelf above, not a lot of room. And my last one in my apartment was a stacked washer and dryer with one door and absolutely hardly any room on the sides for maybe a broom and a dustpan and a foldable, portable ironing board. That's all I had room for in there. In this RV, where we live now, in my previous RV, we have a stackable washer and dryer with no room for anything on the side, just a washer and a dryer. So I have to keep my cleaning products in another part of the bathroom because it's actually in the bathroom in this RV. So there are so many things, but I'm going to go with an average laundry room that has a washer and a dryer, some space to walk around, or at least the closet doors that open, space above to put things, and maybe some hanging space. If you don't have a hanging space, you can use the doors themselves. If they're bifold doors, you can use your hangers and hang them on the top. You can hang things on the top of doors in the hallway, shirts and things. You can hang them up there while you're getting things out of the dryer. But basically, here's some areas you'll need to clean. Number one, the washer itself. Now, if you have a washer, a front-loading washer, it is imperative that you keep that seal clean, the seal in the washer, and you keep the door cracked open. That's what I suggest. Now, there are different versions of front-loading washers. The one that I have has a big rubber seal inside. Water collects in there. I have to take paper towels and dry it out thoroughly and leave the door open. And I dry the window too on the inside because there's moisture there, just to let it get dry so it won't smell weird, So I keep it open most of the time. Now, once it's dry, I close it, but not all the way, and close the little closet door. So it's cracked about that much. That's what I would suggest you do. If you don't have a front loader, then you've got a top loader. And a top loader can get grungy too. The actual lid, the metal lid, has edges inside and it gets dirt in there over time. So you need to clean that out. Get a paper towel, some vinegar and water, or some other mild cleanser and clean that out. The washer itself, you need to look in there every now and then and see, is there anything in there? Did buttons drop off? Are there any parts of things in there? You need to clean it every time you empty it. Make sure there's nothing in there. A stone, a stick, there's all kinds of things that can be in there from your dogs or your kids. And just make sure you wipe it down, that it looks nice and clean, okay? So that's the washer. When you shut the washer lid, you want to clean the top of the washing machine and the knobs and all those things. Then the dryer. Every time you use the dryer, empty the lint out, the lint trap. Empty that out every time. So I get my finger wet, and I just do like this, and it gathers on my finger, and I throw it in the garbage. Or I get some lint and get the rest of the lint with that lint. Don't let it form a big thick stack like that. My son, who's a firefighter, well, he's retired, a retired battalion chief, said that that is one of the most common ways that houses burn down, and it's because people leave lint in there. And also that they don't clean out. When you take the lint basket out or the lint filter out, that's a hollow space and there's lint in there, and that needs to be cleaned out. So there are tools for that you can get, dryer tools that you can get for that, or you can have a professional clean it. And then you've got your vent that goes to the outside of the house, that needs to be cleaned. So make sure you're doing that on a regular basis. So look up your dryer online, look at the instructions and see what it recommends and follow those instructions. But for now, let's get the lint out, and also make sure that there's nothing in the barrel of the dryer, like a crayon or some gum, etc. Okay, because that can ruin your clothes, and that's a terrible thing to do, ruin a bunch of clothes because somebody just didn't look. Because children will leave things in their pockets. Some husbands are bad about leaving things in their pockets. If you have that problem, then check the pockets every time you put your dirty clothes in, or before you get them out, as you're getting them out of the dirty clothes basket and you're sorting your clothes, check the pockets. Now, I'm really fortunate. My husband doesn't leave things in his pockets, nor do I. Occasionally there'll be a Kleenex, and that's so rare, maybe once a year. So, and it's usually me. But it's something like up my sleeve, some strange place. So check your clothes. And then wipe down the outside of the dryer. Now, some people go a little far, in my opinion, and they pull the dryer and the washing machine out from the wall. I wouldn't recommend that. Number one, it's awful for your back. As a woman, you don't need to be pulling on something like that. Number two, there's no reason to do that. I know that it gets dirty between the washer and dryer just from daily exposure. And why don't you use a yardstick with a sock on the end and just wipe that out? You don't need to get in there and clean that out. The same with refrigerators. I digress, but people pull their refrigerators out, or their stoves, their electric stoves or their gas stoves. I think that's a terrible mistake. Leave those alone. One day when you buy a new one and they pull it out and they're getting the new one out of the truck, you can get in there and wipe it out real quick. There's no need to pull them out. So stop doing that. That is really perfectionism. And if you always do it and you've done it all your life and it makes you very, very happy, that's fine. Just be super careful that you're not disconnecting gas lines, water lines, etc. My personal opinion is leave it alone. Same with refrigerators. And how many times have I had a new stove or a refrigerator installed and they've taken it out and I've said, yuck. I sweep it real quick, mop it real quick, wipe the sides down real quick. By the time they get in and unpack the new one, it's ready to go. Okay, there's just no need to hurt yourself. All right, so we're back in the laundry room. So now let's go to the floors. We're going to start with the floor and go up. I know that's kind of the opposite of what we normally do, but let's go to the floor. So let's give the floor a really good mop. That means you have to take everything out. Now, if your room is decluttered, that's super simple. Move some laundry baskets out if it's big enough to walk around in, and mop the floor. And then if you have baseboards in there, get a rag and wipe your baseboards down. Then look at your walls. Do they need wiping down? Have your children been in there leaning on it, or have you been rubbing baskets against the wall? Do they need wiping down? Do they need painting? Put that on your to-do list for another time and assign it to someone else. Hire it out, have your husband do it, or if you love to paint, you can arrange to do it, but not right now. Right now, we're deep cleaning. Wipe the light switches, those get grungy. If you have a door handle, clean the door handle and on the door, around the handle. Those are places you can clean. All right, so now we've gotten that done. Let's go to the upper cabinets or shelves. So you've already organized it. You've got exactly what you need in here. It looks really nice and tidy. We're going to clean one area at a time. So whether it's a shelf or a set of cabinets. If it's cabinets, you're going to open one cabinet and work one shelf at a time. Take the things off of that shelf, wipe it down. Maybe you want to line the shelf and put the things back. Do that for every shelf, one at a time. Don't take everything out. You're going to overwhelm yourself. Something's going to happen. Your 15 minutes is going to be up. You have to go get the kids from volleyball or whatever. And now it's a mess because now it's going to get messy. So just a little at a time. The same with shelves. If you don't have the big fancy cabinets, that's fine. You've just got a shelf. Work one set of your shelves at a time. Just take everything off and wipe them down. Okay? If you can think of anything else, you can put it in the comments. But basically, that's how you clean your laundry room. All right. That's it for today. I hope that was helpful. The next time we talk, we'll be talking about deep cleaning your bedroom closet, and if you have one, your ensuite bathroom. Have a wonderful day, and always remember to be beautiful because you are beautiful.